Good morning, church. Welcome to our devotion. In today's devotion, we look at one verse, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, we see that the Lord found man out of the ground and breathed into him life. Now, if we look at the story of creation in Genesis chapter 1, we see that God took 6 days to create everything, and on the seventh day, he rested. Now, out of all the 7 days, we do not see that God is giving us any detail. It only tells us that God created this, God created that, God created this, but it's an abridged version. We actually do not know how God created. He calls everything into being. That's all we know. Now, if you want to know something about how God created something, we have to look at Genesis chapter 2. Now think of it this way. Let's say that we are given a puzzle, and the puzzle has various pieces, and in that puzzle there's one piece that is the important piece, and around that one piece the whole puzzle is built. So here we see in the account of creation that the 6th day is important, and in Genesis chapter 2 verse 7, God is only telling us exactly how he created man. No other thing in the days of creation is known. How did God create light? How did he create the sun? How did he create the moon? We know nothing. We only know one thing, that God in Genesis chapter 2, after it tells us on the 7th day he rested, he's going to give us a glimpse into how he created man. He took mud and he breathed into that mud the gift of life. Now, why did God give us only one thing out of the whole creation account? And why did he tell us only about one thing that he created? I mean, he gives us everything. He tells us the whole story, but that's an abridged story. He tells us only how he created man. That's what I'm pointing out over here. And why is that? Because the 6th day is important. Out of all the beings, out of everything, man is the most important in the creation story. Why? Because man is the only being made in the image of God, who can worship God and who can bear his image. So here we see God giving man a chance. Now, if you read on in chapter 3, 4 of Genesis, we know that man is a sinful man, and because of Adam and Eve, sin come into the world. Now, did God knew that Adam and Eve would sin? Yes, he did. But we see that, God had already planned redemption before the beginning of the world. God knew what was needed. He knew that sin would enter the world, and hence we human beings would need a redeemer. If you look at Ephesians chapter 1 verse 4, it says that God chose all of us before the foundation of the world. So before even the world was created, he already had in mind what he wanted to do. He wanted to bring us into being, knowing that we were sinful creatures. Yet, out of all the beings, of all the things created, the Lord chose to love man the most and made him in his image. We bearing his image, being the most, important person or beings to God. God created us. And this is what I'm pointing out, a simple fact in Genesis chapter 2 verse 7, that God, he created us, and he just took the dust of the ground and breathed life into it. So this is our devotion for today, and God bless you all. Have a nice day.